Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Tennova Healthcare. Longtime viewers of this show know how I feel about Tennova. I've dealt with them for myself, for my father in terms of cancer treatments. I've went to their ER when I ripped my quad muscle in half like an idiot. I've used Tennova in every which way you can. But Tennova also tries to help you prevent injuries and illness by serving up information on their wellness blog at Tennova.com. So I want you to do this. Once this show is over, and not before, I want you to go to Tennova.com and look right up there at the header. You'll see the wellness blog. Lots of information, lots of interesting stories on there. Just tips on how to keep you and your family healthy. Good stuff there. Tennova.com, just one of the millions of ways they care for East Tennessee. All right. And by the way, we have some incredible stats. I want to tell you this coming up later, some just eye-popping stats about Tennessee's success at Neyland Stadium over the years and lack of success in recent years. That's a little later. But first, the Golden Nugget Casino out in Las Vegas, the only way they can really make a splash anymore is being the first with some sort of prediction because most people don't go to the old part of Vegas. But anyway, Golden Nugget puts out a list of their biggest games of the year. 4 Tennessee games were on the list, okay? And let's go ahead and pop these up if we can. Here's what they had. Tennessee's game at Florida, they got Florida as a 9.5 point favorite. Chuck's making notes. Georgia at Tennessee, they've got Tennessee as a 1 point favorite. Tennessee at Alabama, they have Alabama as a 24.5 point favorite. Now, the last time Tennessee went down there, they gave them a heck of a game. That was a different team. This team's, you got a lot of question marks on the UT team this year. And then finally, LSU at Knoxville. This is the only home game they have Tennessee losing. They have LSU as a 7.5 point favorite. Here's my question, gentlemen, very quickly. If you look at this and you figure this is the main games that they're going to, I mean, they didn't put any other big games in there. So you're thinking they're expecting you to go 9-3, and your losses would be at Florida, at Alabama by a bundle, at home to LSU, your only home loss. You beat Georgia. 9-3, 5-3 in the SEC, only one home loss. Is that a good year?
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. With a new quarterback, you know, based on the show we did where you showed the average was a new quarterback was like 8 wins, or the ceiling was like 8 wins or something like that typically.
I think that would be a really good year.
I agree.
Yes.
I would go underlined good.
If they said you could take that right now.
Yeah, you would.
You could take that, and that's Tennessee season, I would say, yes, I will take that. Thank you very much.
I would put a word in front of yes. Heck yes. You know, I think, because, I mean, we're looking at what, 7.5? Isn't that our kind of consistent?
Yes, our across the board, our Sports Source over-under on wins for the year is 7.5.
And don't you think there's still the possibility or probability you're going to stumble in at least 1 or 2 games you should win? Isn't that kind of like the status quo that seems to be with Butch Jones going 8-4?
Yeah. So I mean, that's, and I think that this year, you know, you've got so many question marks. Now they may turn out to all be check marks by the end of the year, but if you have just 1 or 2 X marks that don't come through, and it happens to be at the quarterback position, or your defensive line doesn't develop, or those guys are hurt like they were last year, this thing could go south quick. So I'm like Bob, if you offered, and I wonder how many Vols fans would do that. You know, I understand your goal is 9-3 championships. Yeah. Next year, go for your championship. This is clearly a reloading kind of year. I would take 9-3 if it were offered.
The overall reason I think this past year that Tennessee fans became upset is Tennessee fell short of expectations, expected to win the East. If Tennessee goes 9-3, that is easily, I think, outpacing the majority of expectations.
Yes, most people's realistic expectations.
Well, and you know, let's not forget that 3 of the 6 players that were drafted were underclassmen. You lost 3 juniors, so not only did you lose Butch's first recruiting cycle, you lost the best players in his second recruiting cycle as well.
Now, also, if you want to be fair, he's had a lot of good people transfer out.
Yeah.
Well, guys who are expected to be good players. We'll see how they do when they land at other places. A lot of these guys you transfer and you go, how could we lose him? And then you never hear him again.
Preston Williams, the 5-star receiver, probably the most costly transfer in the last year, I would say.
And we'll see what he develops.
What about Jalen Hurts
down the road?
Not as costly.
Well, he'd already quit on the team.
I'm going to agree with you. It's not as costly. Yeah.
It was a good thing to get rid of it.
Like a Diamond DeShields addition by subtraction potential.
Yeah. Okay. When we come back, we still got the Neyland Stadium thing. I want you to see that. When we come back, though, we're going to talk about SEC East Division schedules. Top 5 contenders in the East. I keep hearing Tennessee's got a breeze of a schedule. I thought so, too. Let's take a look at it. It might not be that easy when you compare it to the others in the East. Come on back.